So when we disagree, we really want to try to accept that conflict is natural and normal, and it's okay, right? That we're all different. Something we know but often forget. And that's another piece of self-awareness. Next time you get into conflict with someone, think about that.
Can we listen? Or maybe, how can we listen? Those twin questions were the basis of a discussion led by Peter Pagnucco, the owner of a Manchester-based dispute resolution and mediation service at the Manchester Community Library on September 25th. The discussion followed an earlier one held last July at the library, which explored ways of holding civil discussions across differing political viewpoints, which has emerged as an issue following the presidential election last November, when evidence of a divided and polarized electorate seemed to be on the rise. Pagnucco walked the audience of about 40 people through a couple of principles of active listening. Conflict is to be expected, for example, and it's normal, and there are ways to bridge the gaps.
Okay, so how can we prepare ourselves to listen when others might disagree? We can accept that as conflict is normal. We can see people situationally and not merely dispositionally. We can understand how our brain works. And finally, we can know we have the skills to deal with conflict. And if you know you have some skills, you can be more comfortable with dealing with conflict. And you can be more relaxed. And the more relaxed you are, the more you can use your frontal cortex and problem solve and apply your skills and do better to resolve your conflicts. Or at least, at minimum, coexist with people that you disagree with. We want to clear our brain of any filters we have so we can listen to that person. Not that judgments aren't good, not that they don't help us sometimes, but if we're really trying to listen and really trying to understand, we want to get past that blind spot and collect information from a blank slate.
Following the discussion, a couple of members of the audience engaged in a role play about how to listen to someone with an opposing viewpoint on a touchy political question. And then the conversation opened up to questions and answers from the audience.
The youth, they're not educated in issues and they don't understand what they're doing.
That's my opinion about them, is that they don't understand that our democracy is
a hard thing to do. I mean, I am equally guilty of that. And in order to know, you have to know what they're actually saying.
That are teaching different groups very different things, different sets of facts. So, and repeatedly, so you're going to get to believe whatever it is you're watching, and it's your truth, which in our history, we've never had this kind of division, this great division, I don't think.
Afterwards, Ed Murrow of Manchester gave us his takeaway from the evening.
Important to that we do begin to understand what's being said. The problem is that there are these alternative facts, which is another word for lies, and lies are being purveyed out there, and many people are believing lies, and we have to get down to revealing the lies and coming to a common understanding of what the real facts are. Then I think there'd be more commonality of opinions on those facts.
Civil discourse, talking and listening, may have seen an erosion in recent years as sources of information have multiplied, from a few highly trusted sources to a plethora of online news outlets, some of which may be reliable and others perhaps less so. How different all of this is from earlier periods in the nation's history may also be a matter of debate. But being aware of some good listening techniques may not be a bad idea, and one hardly limited to political questions. Whether the current political environment of discourse gives way to a more tolerant, open to hearing the other side of the story mentality is one that remains to be seen. For the GNet TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.